Time now for our financial focus. Of course, that brings us to analyst Steve Budin. Thank you so much for being here.
Sure.
On top of the list here, Home Depot and Walmart. What's good for them is good for us, apparently, right? In some ways.
Yeah, two big bellwether companies. I like to read the financial reports when they come out with earnings, and both companies actually came out with good earnings, and more importantly, they gave some good forecasting. Both Home Depot and Walmart, two of your Dow Jones index companies, two of the largest out there, so they're pretty good gauges on how the overall economy is doing, and they both gave a thumbs up. Interestingly, for Walmart, they were actually able to better compete with Amazon. Their online sales have really gone up, and it's a good lesson. You know, the Kmart by my house is closing. Companies like Walmart have to get in gear with online sales to compete.
Yeah, they are adapting because Amazon really is a monster in that market.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how successful Walmart's going to be with Amazon, but either way, you got to assume it's us, the consumer, that's going to win there, right?
Sure, and it looks like Walmart got the message.
Yeah, okay. Moving on, this is interesting. LV Sands, Japan now opening up its market to gaming for the first time. So that means potentially a good boom for the casino industry right here.
Yeah, and Japan potentially would be the world's #2 gaming market. Gambling is very popular over there. And Sheldon Adelson was just over there recently giving a talk about potential. He'd love to build a casino, obviously, over there. It would be nice if some of our local companies could get their footprint in there. And the Japanese will begin to issue licenses, hopefully, by the end of this year. So the cost could be pretty high because the land in Japan is pretty expensive.
Right.
But reading the text of Mr. Adelson's speech, he was saying if you think Singapore is good, just wait till you see what happens in Japan. They could be the #2 market, which again leads to some real good cross-marketing opportunities because the Japanese tourists love coming to Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on. We keep hearing about the whole border adjustment tax. This has been obviously big in the news with President Trump. A lot of people, it sounds like great reform, right? But maybe not always great depending on what your business is and what you do, what you sell, what you buy.
Now we're going to begin to see where the rubber meets the road. You're going to begin to see the tax plans being unveiled by various parties, one of which is the border adjustment tax. And I want to bring these up as they come out so folks could better understand, because different lobbying groups are going to title their interests in different ways. So there was a letter written to the Congress today by some of the domestic manufacturers saying now they're calling it the Made in America tax. They should repeal it because the way the border tax works is if you manufacture a product in this country, you pay tax on your input costs. And then when you send it overseas, there's another tax. When you bring a product into this country, you don't pay the tax at all. So what those that are espousing this tax are saying, you need to level the playing field because that's what a lot of the European countries are doing. But of course, that will impact companies like Walmart, for example, who manufacture overseas.
Right.
And then when they bring their products back, it will potentially raise the price.
And you're saying, sir, on the other side of that is Boeing, which manufactures a lot here in the United States, but then exports and sells those goods to other countries.
Right, and they'll benefit from that. So you have these coalitions for affordable products, the Made America Tax Repeal Group. So these titles sound interesting because they obviously want you to lean their way. But this is where the president is really going to have to negotiate through Congress, because for every company that's going to benefit from this, there may be another one that doesn't. And it just shows you how difficult it is to get any reforms done, which is why the markets have been really pricing this in. We'll see if they can get it done.
Yeah, always interesting, the difference between campaigning and actually governing.
Absolutely, big difference.
All right, Steve Budin, as always, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. We'll be right back.